Are you following a person, a faith, a ministry, an influencer who's encouraging you to put all your trust in what they're saying? This is a dangerous place to be in. I know people who are just fully convinced that their way is the only way, that their way is the right way. And they claim to follow the same God that I follow. I have to disagree that their way is right, because everything that they believe is coming out of the mouth of man. I am fully convinced that in 2024, we have the same access to God the Father through his son Jesus Christ that Adam had in the garden. Let me show you something. So John chapter 10 verse 1 says, "Verily I say to you, he that enters not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbs up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber." So what that's telling me is that there's only one way to get to God, and that's through his son. If I try any other thing, if I try sage, if I try any other way and deny Christ, I am a thief and a robber. Verse 2. "But he that enters in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep." Enters through the door. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. "To him the porter opens, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them." I cannot follow anybody or anything that doesn't allow me access to the Father directly. Direct access. I don't have to go through the priest. I don't have to go through the overseer. I don't have to go through the pastor. I don't have to go through the bishop. Yes, leadership is good. Don't hear what I'm not saying. We need leaders. We need people to bat for us, go to bat for us. We need people to help us to walk out our soul salvation. But they don't replace God. Verse 4. "And when he puts forth his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him." Not the overseer, not the priest. "For they know his voice." And mind you, this is Jesus speaking. This is in red. "And a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers." We should be running. We should tuck tail and Speedy Gonzalez out of there if we see that we're going down the wrong path, or we're following somebody who is not following Christ. And verse 6 says, "This parable spake Jesus unto them, but they understood not the things they were in which he was spoke unto them." So even the disciples didn't understand this. So don't feel bad if you didn't get it. Don't feel bad if you like, man, I can hear from God directly. Like, I literally know of people, I know people who follow faiths that don't believe that God is still speaking. They don't believe that miracles, signs, and wonders still happen. They don't believe in any signs. They don't believe in tongues. They just believe everything we need is in the scripture. There's nothing else, which is good. But these things are in scripture. And for those of y'all who like, this was John, so this New Testament, we should still hear the voice of God, people. And so I'm not saying that everybody will hear him audibly. He speaks to different people in different ways. He speaks to me in my gut. He speaks to me in my own words. Like when I rant, when I be going off and just running my mouth, I get downloads because I'm willing to open my mouth and to receive what God has for me. People hear him audibly. God will speak through other people. So we can't seclude ourselves. I'm feeling so many things right now because I'm looking around. I'm hearing the commentaries. I'm talking to friends and family. And there's too many of us out here drinking the Kool-Aid. We're living our lives thinking with this instead of with this. God speaks to the heart of man. If you're not careful, if we're not careful, the closer we get to the end, which we're very close, we will be led astray. And I would hate to have spent my entire adulthood serving God, working towards his kingdom, just to let some man lead me in the wrong direction. Pray, fast, trust, believe in him. I'm not saying don't go to church. I'm not saying don't fellowship. We need to do all the things. But do not put your faith and your trust in the institution. That belongs solely to God. Even in your homes, don't put your faith and all your trust in your husband, because you're supposed to follow him as he follows Christ. But if you don't know where Christ is leading him, when he gets off the path, you're going to follow him to destruction. Be careful. Yes, we can go to the Father directly. Yes, he gave us his word, and yes, we should follow the word. But for those of you, because there's plenty out there who's saying, well, the word is tainted. There's things added to it. There's things taken away. That's why I'm telling you to focus on your relationship with him. You have to have a relationship with God. Yahweh. The Father of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, who is also God in the flesh. Let me be specific, because a lot of people are out here saying God, but we don't know what God they're speaking about, right? The one true and living God. That's who I'm talking about. Stop playing. We out here being lazy. We are out here. We just walking around with our eyes closed, hoping not to bump into anything. That's crazy. It is crazy for me to spend all this time worshiping and praising and fellowshipping with the body and not have intimacy with the Father. It's a total package. So I am, and you're gonna hear this from me. This is where I'm at right now. I don't see it going anywhere else. The call is to him. Okay? So no matter what religion you aspire to, no matter what sect you claiming, if they are not redirecting you directly to him, but they're saying, our fathers are saying, we got new revelation about this. We are saying that and this and the third and all this, but they're not teaching the people to not just search the scriptures for themselves, but search their hearts, seek him directly. There's a problem. If you are a part of an organization that forbids you to seek out information outside of what they're teaching, that's a red flag. Because when you seek truth, you will find it. Right? So if you give me the freedom overseas